You messed up. You know it. You told her you're sorry. You even explained why it happened so she understands you didn't mean it. But instead of calming down, she gets even more angry. If this has ever happened to you, you are not alone. In fact, you're doing exactly what 99% of men do, and it's destroying your relationship. When you say, "I already said sorry, what more do you want?" you aren't fixing the problem. You are literally pouring gasoline on the fire. Why? Because you are saying sorry to end the argument. But she isn't listening to your apology to end the argument. She's listening to see if you understand her pain. Your goals are completely misaligned. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how the female brain processes apologies, the 3 massive mistakes you're making that make you look weak and fake, and I'll give you a 3-step apology framework that will instantly de-escalate the situation and rebuild trust. Watch until the end, because step 2 will completely change how you handle conflict forever. Let's get into it. To understand why your apologies fail, you first need to understand the biological wiring of your brain versus hers. This is what I call the fixer trap. Men are biologically wired to be mechanics. We see a problem, we want to fix it. When she is upset, your male brain goes into problem-solving mode. You think, "I need to admit fault, give a logical reason, and close this case so we can go back to being happy." But a woman's brain in a state of emotional distress isn't looking for a mechanic. She is looking for resonance. She doesn't want to fix it, she wants to feel it. Let's look at a real-world example. You forgot to do something she asked you to do. You say, "I'm sorry, I was just so swamped at work, my boss gave me this massive project and I completely lost track of time." In your head, you just provided a logical reason. You proved you aren't a bad guy. That is your intent. But what is she hearing? She doesn't care about your boss. She is focusing on the impact. The impact is that she felt ignored, unimportant, and alone. When you give her a logical excuse, she feels like you are invalidating her feelings. You are basically saying, "My reason is more important than your pain." And that is why she explodes. Rule number 1 of relationship psychology. When she is emotional, logic is your enemy. Stop defending, start connecting. So, if she doesn't want a logical excuse, what does she actually want? Listen to me carefully. She doesn't want a legal confession. She doesn't want you to grovel. She just wants to subconsciously confirm 3 specific things. If your apology doesn't hit these 3 marks, it's worthless. Number 1, do you see my pain? She needs to know that you actually noticed she is hurting. If you just say, "My bad," she feels invisible. Number 2, do you care more about me than being right? When you argue about the facts of what happened, her brain translates that as, "His ego is more important than my feelings." She wants to see you drop the armor. Number 3, do you understand the impact of your actions? She needs to know you understand how your actions made her feel, not just what you actually did. If your apology is just the word sorry, it's cheap. Anyone can say sorry. Empathy is expensive and high-value men pay the price. All right, enough theory. Let's get into the solution. I'm going to give you the exact blueprint. I call it the AVR Framework. Memorize this. Step 1. Acknowledge the emotion with 0 excuses. You must validate her feeling without a single but or because. Never say, "I'm sorry if you felt hurt." The word "if" is a trigger. It implies her feelings are the problem. Say this instead, "I can see that my actions made you feel really hurt and disrespected." Step 2. Validate the impact and own the consequence. This is the magic step. Show her you understand the ripple effect of your actions. Say this, "When I did that, it sent the message that your time doesn't matter to me. It makes complete sense that you are angry because I failed to show up for you." The moment you say, "It makes sense that you are angry," her nervous system will literally start to calm down. You just stepped into her reality. Step 3, reassure the future with an action plan. Now, and only now, do you bring in the logic. But this time, it's not an excuse. It's a plan. Say this, "Going forward, I am going to take this specific action so this doesn't happen again. You are my priority, and I'm going to act like it." Look at the difference. No defensiveness, no ego. just pure, grounded accountability. That is how a leader apologizes. Now, we need to talk about the danger zone. This is where most men completely ruin their progress. You used the framework, you gave the perfect apology, but she's still mad. She crosses her arms, looks away, and says, "Whatever, it's fine." But her tone clearly says it is not fine. Here is where 90% of men snap. They get frustrated and say, "I literally just apologized. What more do you want from me?" Stop. Breathe. You need to understand the emotional hangover. When a woman's feelings are hurt, her body releases stress hormones. Even if her logical brain accepts your apology, her biological body is still processing the stress. She literally needs time to come down from the adrenaline. So what do? You hold your frame. Do not get angry that she isn't instantly happy. Do not punish her for still being upset. You look her in the eyes, keep your voice calm and deep, and say, "I know you still need some time to process this, and that's okay. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be right here when you're ready." Do you know what that does? It makes you look like an unbreakable rock. You didn't crumble when she was moody. You didn't get defensive. You held space for her emotions without letting them control yours. That is ultimate masculine polarity. That is what makes her feel incredibly safe with you. Look, relationships aren't about finding someone who never makes mistakes. It's about finding someone who knows how to repair the rupture. When you drop your ego, step into her reality, and hold your frame through the emotional hangover, you aren't just fixing a fight. You are building a level of trust that most couples will never experience. If this video gave you a massive aha moment, hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And I want to hear from you in the comments. What is the biggest apology fail you've ever had, where you tried to use logic and it completely backfired? Let's see who has the craziest story down there. If you want to master the psychology of attraction and build an unbreakable relationship, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Stay grounded, lead with empathy, and I'll see you in the next video.